Angel Creations. Welcome to my craft room. I have a fun nautical themed craft to do for today. We're going to be using this 8x10 frame from the Dollar Tree. It's in the framed art section. And we are going to be using some of the nautical beads in the Shore Living line section. You can use any of them. I'm going to be using some with the anchors. We are going to be using one of these bikini tops, also from the Dollar Tree, and we printed out a saying in white, you can't really see it yet, with Dollar Tree vinyl. And I also am going to be showing you water slide technique today. So I have printed out a scene of the ocean, which is going to be translucent on our glass frame. So it's going to be a real fun craft today. So I'm just going to set myself up the camera overhead because we're going to be using a bucket of water and all kinds of fun. So just bear with me for a moment and let me get set up. Okay, so now we have a Dollar Tree basin, and we have about an inch of water in it for our water slide. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about water slide. Today I'm going to be using the Hippo water slide. I don't always use this brand, but it's just as good as any other brand. And so what it does, what water slide it, the best way I can describe water slide is it's kind of like a child's tattoo, only it's a permanent fixture when you put it on a good surface. But it is, you kind of wet the paper, and then when you remove the paper, you slide it on to your surface, and it's clear or translucent. So the best way to show you is to just get right in and do this. So let's take our water slide. Let me put my paper aside so we don't get that wet. And it's gonna curl, and we're gonna let it curl. I have a hard time letting it curl, so you might see me poking it, but you're not supposed to have to do that. And so what we have done is we printed a beach scene on to a piece of water slide, and then we sealed it. You have to seal it with a couple of coats of an acrylic sealer, and this is what I used. It's put out by Plaid, and I just get this at Walmart, where you also can get like the Mod Podge spray. So isn't this beautiful? Okay, so now we're just going to slip this. Okay, and one more thing. Before we do that, we got to make sure that our surface is ready. So this is our glass that we'll be using, and we're just going to, once this is done, I'm going to remove the bucket and put this quickly on my cutting board that I use here and show you how to slide the water slide on. So you want to make sure that your surface that you're going to be using is already clean and free of lint and etc. Alright, so I'm going to put that there, and we're just going to go ahead and immerse our water slide right into the water. And it rolls up, but that's okay. I'm unrolling it, but you're not supposed to have to, but it's just the OCD thing. So what you want to do is you want to just make sure that this is entirely submerged for about a minute. Sometimes the bigger picture takes a little bit longer, but you're just submerging that into water. And the reason that we sealed this ink in, I just used an inkjet printer, but the reason we seal it is because we're putting it in water, and if I didn't seal the ink onto this paper, it would come right off and be a blurry water blue bath in here. So it just takes a minute, sometimes longer, because this is a bigger piece. What's happening now to this, what the process is the paper on the back of this paper is getting waterlogged, let's say, and it's going to separate itself from the tattoo, say, clear paper. So that's what we're waiting for. It's really a fun technique. So I'm wondering if I move this over, if you would still be able to see it. So while we wait for our paper to get waterlogged, that way I can be all ready. We also want to have a little towel, clean towel ready. All right, this is just about ready, just about ready. Then I like to put a little bit of water on my surface, but everybody does this differently. This is just the way I do it. Just helps it slide better. Let me just see if this is, I think we might be able to give this a slide. So what we're gonna do now, I'm hoping that you can see this, is I'm going to take, oops, yep, the top, we'll go to the top and we're just gonna convince it to slide off of the paper. Ever so gently, and once we get it onto our, it might not really be free yet. It's not free. I shouldn't have to force that. So let's get that in there a little bit more, because I was kind of forcing it. You see that? Once it starts to come off better, it's just not quite free yet. You'll see in the corner it's starting to come up over here. I don't know, the water is kind of making it go back and forth. So we're almost there. Like I said, this is a big piece, so we don't want to force it or rip it. Let's see how it is now. Still not quite where I want it. Let's give it a shot though. Try it from the bottom on the glass. So we have it on our glass piece. Just getting my fingernail underneath. Whoops. You don't want it. It's kind of like a cellophane. So you can't really play with it too much. So let's just make sure that this is on our glass. I wrinkled it up a little, and then we're just gonna pull, now my bucket's in the way, you're just gonna pull away the paper from underneath, making sure it's on your glass good. There's a big bubble there, so we'll just try to get that out as we go. Smooth it away. My bucket is kind of in my way here. All right, so this is our paper. We're going to just throw that away. And then we're just going to dab this, dab, and try to get some of the water. Here's a big bubble. Try to work that way out to the edge. Work all our bubbles out. You don't want to pull, because this is like a, it's kind of like a cellophane, but it's a lot more delicate than a cellophane is. So just try to smooth that out as best you can. And then I like to just dab it just a little bit. Just dab it, help get some of that moisture out of the bottom. And then we're going to simply put this aside and let it set up a little bit. And we are going to start doing the rest of our craft until this is all dry. All right, so I'm just going to take this. This is what we've got. It's going to be beautiful. And I'm just going to put it behind me and let me get set back up here and be right back. Okay, so this is what we have. It's still damp. Let me see if I put it behind some white paper. So you see that it's see-through, right? And which is such a cool technique. Still a little wet. But when we put it behind white paper, which we will do on the frame, how beautiful is that? So we're gonna put this aside. Let's keep this. Whoa. Let's just keep this drying over here on this towel. And let's put our paper. I'm just gonna put a little piece of this paper on the back of our cardboard so that it's white. Hopefully one piece will be enough. And I'm just going to do that with a glue stick. Let me get myself a glue stick. I just had a good glue stick. Okay, let's turn the heat. So yeah, I'm just going to put this all over the cardboard backing. See if you can see what I'm doing. Get on camera, Jill. Get on camera. All right. So we are going to have to turn this up a couple of times. We don't want globs. I have a glob over here. Let's try to spread that out. We don't want globs, you know. We just want to be able to stick our white paper on so that it's not a brown backing. Instead of a brown backing, we want a white backing. And I'm just going to line these up in my corners for the most part, and then I'm just going to trim it off on the back. No need to sand it because it will be inside the frame. So water slide is so much fun. I got into water slide because I'm a tumbler maker. And then I realized you could put water slide on virtually anything. You can put it on a glass candle. You can put it on anything. It's better to have, oh, I was like, where is my trash here? It's better if it has a white backing, but I made a beautiful piece of acrylic slab that I poured onto a tray. I had it lined with, I think it was lined with, I forget, saran wrap, and then I poured my epoxy and I let that sit, and then I printed off a picture of my friend's two children at the beach, or with the beach scene behind it anyway, and it was just a beautiful acrylic epoxy, beautiful. I before the epoxy set, I poured sand in the bottom so it had a real beach, and I put some shells, and it was really cool, really cool. So water slide is a lot of fun. There's so much that you can do with water slide. Alright, so we have our backing, we have our water slide, our frame is going to stay white, so we'll put these together. I'm not painting the frame. It came that way and we're going to keep it that way, but what we're going to paint is one of these shells. They're calling it a bikini top. But we're going to just take it apart and use one of the shells. We're going to break this bikini apart, and there's only knots on one side of those two, and then one side. So we'll put the rest of this aside. So I would like to fill these little holes in on our shells with a little tiny bit of spackle from the Dollar Tree. You don't have to cover them completely, but I'd like to just not have a hole there. And this is achieved by just sticking a little bit of spackle in the hole. Okay. Oops, I pulled my finger out and the whole thing of spackle came with it. Let's try that again. I think it was easier from the back. Let's do it from the back. And I think I need just a tiny bit more, because we don't care what the back looks like, because we're not going to see the back. We're just going to zhuzh up the front a little bit. Oh, it's sticking through. So you kind of need to do a little from the front and a little from the back. Like I said, you know, I'm a crafter. I am not a spackler. Alright, but we covered them up for the most part. And once they're dry, I can just sand it down a little tiny bit. Put that away. Wipe the spackle off. So I have this paint by Folk Art. And I'm not sure if I get it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I don't remember. I kind of think Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is 2 minutes away, so it's probably from Hobby Lobby. But it's called Hologram, and it is by Folk Art, and it's called Extreme Glitter. But I love like whenever I am painting, I paint rocks. I paint rocks for a business. Whenever I'm painting a beach scene, and I put the white in to make the, you know, the white foam rolling in on the water, I always add a little bit of this, because it's not really a full glitter. It's just like a, it doesn't come out glittery, it just dries a little bit glittery. So anyway, we are going to just zhuzh this shell up with just a little bit of this, just so that it isn't so boring. Yeah, it's a little flat white right now, so I'm just going to drip some of this on. And this is like a silver sparkle, but I also have it in gold and in a purple. And I always use it when I make shells. If I paint shells for somebody, or I'm painting shells on a beach scene. So I'm going to hold it down here with my finger and try to just go the same way. I'm getting my brush in the spackle too. It's okay. It's not dry yet, but it will be fine. So I'm trying to go in the same direction that the shell goes in, if that makes any sense. And you are probably not going to see this on camera. I might be surprised. You might be able to. But it's really an iridescent, but when it dries, it just has the prettiest. It's more of an iridescent, I would say, than a glitter. And I want a little more heaviness down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna, because I think shells, they start there, right? So they're born here, and I think their strongest assets are here, and then they stretch out to the rest of the shell. And they turn different iridescent colors, but all right, that is good enough. So now we got to give this a quick little dry with our heat gun, which I always have the link to this heat gun in my description box below if you are ever interested. And I think it's like, I think it was like $13. I think it was 12 something. So I'll say like $13. It's the best tool I have in this room, I swear. Okay, I decided to paint. I was going to leave my frame white. I didn't think it needed, but you know what? I think I changed my mind, and I think I would like to paint it navy blue. So we're just going to do that real quick. Just slap on a little bit of navy blue. It doesn't even have to be a perfect coat. As a matter of fact, I don't have a, usually I have a piece of parchment paper handy, and I don't, so that's okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my, this is Craft Smart paint. We used this the other day. In that long Americana picture that we made. So basically I just want to give this, make this frame stand out a little bit more than, I'm figuring the white shell should pop, and it won't pop behind a white frame. So I decided navy blue is the way to go. It's very nautical, navy blue. So now we got to get the sides. So I'm just going to paint this up, and for time's sake, I will be right back. Alright, so I put 2 coats, whoops, it's still a little wet, 2 coats of the blue, navy blue paint on our frame, and this shell is drying up so nicely. I want to show you the difference. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. This one, it has iridescent on it to make it look more real life, and this one does not. So I'm not sure until I edit if this is coming up on camera or not, but if it is, it just made this shell look so much more real. So now I decided one more thing. We are going to be using the garland from the Shore Living line with the anchors today for a beaded hanger. And I decided, since we did the frame in navy blue, we should do our anchors. I'm only going to do my anchors. I'm not going to do my beads. So I'm going to do my very best to stay away from my beads. But you know, it's a craft. It's not perfect. And I think let's see, we want to go 4 and 4. I'm going to do it this way. So we want to have at least 4. I think we're going to have at least 3. Well, there's only 4 anchors. Let's just paint them all blue. I think we're only going to need 3 of them, but let's just do a little bit of paint on our anchors. Like I said, just a quick little, just to give them some color. Okay, and then I'm going to do the back side as well, just in case they flip over. You don't need to if you know where you're going to hang it and it's never going to move. I'm not doing the outside edges of these. I'm just doing the front and the back. The edges have a nice burnt edge to them already. And you know, I love this paint. So it's called Marine Blue, and like I said, it's by Craft Smart, and it really gives like a denim, almost a denim color. I really think it's a great nautical color to be using. And like I said in another video, I want to start incorporating some of my other colors. I have a whole wall full of colors, you know, different color paint from I told you briefly the other day that I used to have a group of friends. There was 8 of us that met every Friday night in my house, and we did crafts, and we called ourselves the Sisterhood of the Traveling Butterflies, because we were all friends in New England. Well, it started that we were all friends in New England, and we all found our way at different times here to Florida, and then we opened it up to other friends, like my friends and their friends, and we ended up having a great bunch of girls every Friday night doing crafts in my dining room. It was so much fun. I really, really miss it. So I want to start using some of these beautiful colors of paint. It doesn't always have to be chalk paint. Let's dry this up, and I'm just going to flip it over and do the other side real quick. Okay, so I did the front and the back, and then I shortened it so that we only have 3 of them. And we are going to put those aside right now, and let's put this piece together. Oh, it is a hot one here today in Dade City, Florida, let me tell you. So I probably need to have a sleeveless shirt on, and all this hot blow drying is heating me up. And I don't even have a drink handy today. That's terrible. I didn't even bring myself a cold drink. Okay, so are we ready? So now I have our beautiful water slide, our beach scene. Matter of fact, it goes this way. So we have the raw side, which is the side we put the water slide on. And then we have the glass side, right? That we, the back side. We want to put our words on the glass side, not the water slide side. So we're going to put our glass down so that we protect our water slide right onto the cardboard piece and on white paper, and then we are going to just put our frame back on. So let's do that real quick. Do some pieces here. There we go. The reason is because, for 2 reasons. We want to protect our beautiful water slide, although that is there forever. And you don't have to seal it in or anything. Once that's dry, you would pretty much have to scrape this off. So we're protecting this side because we don't want anything to scrape it off. And also, once we go to put our words on it, if we need to move it or it's too delicate of a surface. So we're going to use the side with the, just the glass. All right, so let's make sure that we put our hanger on the right side, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to make a beaded hanger. I mean, we're adding a beaded hanger. We didn't make it, we just zhuzhed it up a little bit. Okay, so look at our beautiful beach. Is that beautiful? I love that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. So now we're going to take our words that we printed out with Dollar Tree vinyl on the Cricut, and I remembered this time to, I don't think we need this cutting board here anymore. Let's get rid of that piece. I remembered to put it on press and seal, so let's take it off of our press and seal. Looks like I have a little, okay, smooth that out. Let's take it off of the backing, and I'm gonna let you see what it says once I put it on. I think it's the cutest saying. I'm gonna let it be a surprise. Alright, so there's our words. I'm going to flip it over, and I want to put this up in this corner up here where most of the blue, the dark blue is. Actually, it could go in either corner. I think it doesn't matter, so let's put it up in this corner. And we're going to commit right there. And we're going to just rub that on with our little Cricut spatula. Making sure that those little words stay right where they need to be. Glad press and seal is your best friend when you are working with, look, it's not even going to stay down with my Glad press and seal, but it's still better this than if we had transfer tape, because transfer tape wouldn't hold this at all. I mean, transfer tape would just pull this right up. So I'm going to have difficulty even with the press and seal, but usually you don't. Usually you don't. Now, the only thing I can say is I did cut this out the other day. I did all my vinyl all in the same day for upcoming projects, so I'm hoping that that's not why it doesn't seem to be staying down. but that word did good, so let's keep on going. Doing good, doing good. It's much better with this press and seal. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what it says. It says, I need vitamin C. S-E-A instead of vitamin C, the letter. All right, how cute is that? I think that's adorable. All right, so now we're going to put this big, oops, what are we stuck to here? Now we're going to put our big shell on. Right over here, because we need some vitamin C. Before we do that though, I think we'll put the hanger on just because it's flat and we can work with it better. So what I have done is I already shortened it. So I just took one anchor and one set of beads off. And you don't even have to do a beaded hanger because there's already a hanger on the frame. So that's your choice. I decided I am though, and I'm gonna get a little popsicle stick ready to, let's see if I have just a regular popsicle stick, just to have handy to, once we glue it down, I want to be able to put a popsicle stick. Wow, I can't cut a popsicle stick? Tough popsicle stick. Wow, cut that a couple of times because we only need a couple little pieces. All right, that was a tough piece of little wood. So I'm gonna just put this hanger right on the frame itself. So we're gonna just put a little bit of glue right in the corner. You can see what I'm doing, and we're just going to rest our top bead, and we're going to take this little popsicle stick and just stick it down so that it's just an extra little added reason for this hanger to stay, if you will. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll show you. I'll give you a little closer look. Yeah, I'm just going to rest that, do the same thing. That way it's the same measurement on both sides. Hold those down for a second, and then I'll just trim off these little edges, my long string. And you know what? I just thought of something. We have 3 anchors, and so in order for this to hang correctly with the anchor hanging right, I'm gonna have to tie on a little loop for it to hang from. Let me just do that real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. That'll give our glue a little more time to hold too. Okay. I'm just making a little loop on each side of the anchor because it needs to be hung by a tack or a nail there, and the anchor will be in our way. It won't hang correctly if I don't do it this way. So I'm gonna show you in 1 second. I'm just using pliers to pull my knot because I have sore fingers. You guessed it. Alright, so let me trim that. Do the same thing on the other side. Oh my Goodness gracious, my fingers feel like big stuffed sausages. There we go. So I'm kind of like just keeping my finger in there to give it the spacing that I want. And I'm just going to tie that one more time and this will be done. I mean the little, oops, just pulled it right back out. It's hard to do it around the anchor. It keeps wanting to catch on the anchor. There. Trim that off. And then I'm going to give it a little tiny glob of glue. I'm going to use this one because it has a precision tip. And now just make sure that our knot isn't going to go anywhere. Just a little bit. And so now it will hang from this little piece I'm holding instead of the anchor. Do you see the loop that I've made? I just tied it on each side of the nautical anchor. Alright, so we have our hanger on there. How cute is that? And now we're going to glue our shell on and we're going to be done with this. It just really came out cute. So let's see, we're going to have to figure out, we're going to have a little glue touching here and here. Okay, let's see how I did. Okay, now we're just going to hold this down in place. And give it a little, well, no, we might not need to give it any more glue actually. So we're just going to hold this down in place. And this came out so cute. It doesn't need a bow. We don't want to take away from our anchors. We don't want to take away from our beautiful shell. So as soon as this is dry, I'm going to pick this up and give you a look. And it is so cute. This is a great time for you to give me a thumbs up. And make sure that you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things because we're going to be doing a giveaway when we get up to 250 subscribers. And you'll have to be a subscriber to win, so make sure you do that. And I'm so excited that my channel is growing. Thank you all for sharing with your friends, family, and social media. It really helps my channel grow. By exposing me to your friends and family in social media, then they expose me to their friends, family, and social media, and it really helps my channel grow. So thank you for those of you that share my channel. And I wanted to just say I see all my new subscribers. I love all the comments that I'm getting. It's nice getting to know everybody. I've had a couple people ask or not at, well, yeah, we've discussed a meet and greet, so I'm going to be planning a meet and greet probably in the, I'm not sure if it's going to be in the Tampa or Brooksville area, but it will be in one area or the other. It depends. We have some people that might come from Inverness, and we have people coming from Tampa, Brooksville, Dade City, and over towards Orlando area. So I don't know. Haven't given that enough thought, but just know it's in the works. A meet and greet would be so much fun. I would love to get together at a little coffee shop or something and get to meet you guys. It's so much fun talking to you on here, so it'd be really fun to put a face to a name. All right, everybody, this is our final project. It's so cute. I just love how this came out. I definitely need some vitamin C. The beach is calling. That one was kind of worn out, I thought. You know, the beach is calling and I must go. But it's true. It's true. I do love the beach. So I hope that you, I'm trying not to glare my camera there, my ring light, but I hope that you love this. And until the next time that we see each other, you know the drill. I'm stuck in my thing here. Let's hold it this way. Until the next time that we see each other, I don't have a come with me to the Dollar Tree video this week. It's a long story, but we'll be here together regardless. I might be able to squeeze one in maybe Saturday. But spent a little more time at Hobby Lobby this week and just didn't get it filmed. So lots going on here in my life. Got some orders to fill and just exciting stuff. So all right, everybody, be good and do good. Bye now.